Well, it opened in 1971 and was designed originally to promote the province of Ontario, but it's going to look a lot different. The Doug Ford revamp of Ontario Place is about to begin. Today, the Ford government announced that it's asking developers to submit ideas to redevelop Ontario Place. Now, there won't be anything residential, so no condos, but just about everything else will be open to redevelopment, including the iconic CityNews. It's possible it could get demolished. Now, the previous Liberal government did have a plan to redevelop the space. It included walking trails and parks. I asked government MPP King Surma what was so wrong with that plan.
The people elected a new government on June 7th, so we're proposing to go out there and get a sense of what the ideas are.
Fair enough, but the Premier during the campaign never said, here's my plan for Ontario Place.
No, but it is a new government, and we are doing things differently, and we're just simply collecting ideas. We want to make Ontario Place an iconic tourist destination for not only Toronto, Ontario residents, but also for people visiting the city and our country.
Will you rule out the possibility of a casino? City Council doesn't want it. I know there is some opposition in the city. Will you say no casino?
We are simply collecting ideas at this point, so we want to hear the best.
But there could be a casino there.
We are collecting ideas at this point, and we are very much looking forward to see what the people of Ontario want to see with that space.
The Premier in the past has talked about a possible Ferris wheel. Is that possible?
We are collecting ideas from the people of Ontario, and I'm very excited to hear what they have to offer.
The NDP's Chris Glover is the MPP whose riding covers Ontario Place. Chris, what do you think of the possible redevelopment of the CityNews?
You know, these are architecturally important spaces in Ontario.
What about the possibility of a casino at Ontario Place?
It would be a disaster. I mean, it's just not what we want on the waterfront. I think the people of Ontario should decide what's going to go there, and it should be something that celebrates this province. That was the purpose. That was the original vision of Ontario Place, to celebrate this province, and a casino does not fit into that vision.
All right, let's go live down to Ontario Place right now, because this is such a big story. Our Erica Natividad is live there. Erica, here's a question for you. What will happen to the Budweiser stage, that beloved amphitheater? Do you know?
Good question, Richard. Well, a lot of people love catching summertime concerts here, and they don't have to worry, actually, because Budweiser Stage is not going anywhere. Formerly known as the amphitheater, there are no redevelopment plans for that stage, so they can breathe a sigh of relief there. The government has also promised to keep 3 hectares of parkland here, but for the people I spoke to earlier today, they say that's not enough. They want to keep as much green space here as possible. One person I spoke to even said that they want to see Ontario Place go back to what it was in its heyday.
I think to try to find our way back to the way it began. I think we kind of had it right the first time around, and I think it's really scary that Doug Ford wants to do what Doug Ford wants to do.
So when you say to the way it was, what do you mean?
It was a family place, and it was free, and it was fun. The Forum was an intimate little place to listen to a lot of good music, and that was great.
What would you like to see here, aside from what they're talking about? What would you like to see?
Oh, I love it like this.
Yeah?
It's wonderful, yeah.
Okay.
It's just such a nice place to come to, walk.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well,
yeah.
they're thinking like something like a casino or a Ferris wheel or
a casino would
water
ruin
park
it.
or something.
No, this is just beautiful, very simple and plain and serene.
Now, the future Ontario Place, a hot topic on the CityNews Facebook and Twitter feeds. Gwen writes, build an affordable small retirement community with shops and medical buildings, or a natural wildlife reserve. Stephen writes, just leave it alone. Toronto needs this outdoor space as is. And Scott posted on our wall, sell it for private development, use the revenue to pay down the provincial debt. Now, the government does have an email for people to submit their ideas. It is Ontario Place Development at infrastructureontario.ca.